Welcome everyone to Sister Wives with Mary Jane K. Today, I'll be giving my commentary on Seeking Sister Wife, Season 5, Episode 12, Seeking Common Ground. Let's unpack this train wreck. The episode opens with the Merrifields. Danielle and Garrick are waiting at the airport for Miriam. Garrick feels really good about his relationship with Danielle. He is happy. He feels that he and Danielle have faced their problems as a family. Their troubles are in the rearview mirror as Garrick and Natalia are working with a lawyer to get the K-1 visa. Danielle has a newfound friendship with a lady on social media, Miriam, the lady they are waiting at the airport for, and Danielle really didn't expect this to happen. They weren't actively dating anyone, but Miriam reached out to them, and Garrick and Danielle were open to it. So now they're waiting on Miriam from Michigan at the airport. And Danielle loves that with Miriam, there is no red tape. She speaks English. She's an American citizen. Miriam is Muslim. She has a 2-year-old daughter, and she has experience with polygamy. Miriam's mom had a sister wife, so she is no stranger to the lifestyle. Danielle really didn't intend to date Miriam, but they kept communicating, and there was a connection there between herself and Miriam. And Garrick doesn't really know much about Miriam. He really hasn't had a chance to get to know her yet, but Danielle knows Miriam really well. So now Garrick will be meeting Miriam and getting to know her for the first time. And she and Garrick will potentially experience the polygamous lifestyle under their roof for the first time with Miriam visiting their home. They're going to have a sampling of the lifestyle with Miriam being there under their roof visiting. Miriam has a 2-year-old daughter that she would be bringing into the situation, so that's going to be interesting. Natalia isn't happy about Miriam at all. She ignores it. She wants nothing to do with it. Natalia told Danielle that she could deal with it. And Natalia says she will only get involved if the situation ends up serious. Right now, she wants nothing to do with it. She ignores it. She just sweeps it under the rug. She isn't happy about this. Natalia shuts down whenever Miriam is mentioned. So they haven't told Natalia about Miriam actually visiting their house. The main focus of this trip is to see where the relationship goes with Miriam. So they're leaving Natalia out of it. Miriam knows about Natalia, but Natalia is having a really hard time with accepting Miriam. So the Merrifields really want to focus on Miriam now with no distractions. And they certainly don't want to worry about Natalia's pesky feelings. Garrick is nervous to meet Miriam, but Miriam and Danielle embrace at the airport like long-lost lovers. Miriam says she can see herself in a plural family. She says especially if everyone is on the same page, she feels it could work out. She's nervous. She wants the Merrifields to see beyond her outer shell into who she is on the inside. Miriam really is taken by Garrick. She finds Garrick to be handsome. And right away, Miriam meets Danielle's parents. Danielle loves that Miriam lives in the U.S. She speaks English. So it's a much different feeling having Miriam be a potential sister wife and experiencing getting to know her. There is no communication barrier. Danielle feels the connection with Miriam, and she hopes that Garrick and Miriam get along well and that they share that chemistry too. Garrick, of course, thinks Miriam is beautiful. She is definitely no catfish. This is really going to be an interesting dynamic because Danielle seems more into Miriam than Garrick does. I think Danielle is mainly interested in deterring Natalia. I don't know how interested she actually is in polygamy with Miriam, but I guess we shall see. Miriam solves Danielle's Natalia problem for now at least, and I have a feeling that's why Danielle is so enthusiastic about Miriam. Garrick thinks that if Natalia wants to work through her problems, that she and Miriam would get along swimmingly. And Garrick warns, if it gets serious with Miriam, Natalia is just going to have to face things. She's just going to have to accept it because there is no other alternative if she wants to be a part of the family. So in other words, fuck Natalia, fuck Natalia's feelings. If she wants to be with them, she can put up with this or she can get out. Natalia's feelings aren't a part of this equation. And I think Danielle is loving this because she wants to get rid of Natalia and she knows Natalia isn't down for Miriam. Next up are the psycho stalkers, the Ryan family. Justin is meeting Yari tonight for a one-on-one date and they have been dating a while now. Justin wants to be honest with Yari that he feels things are just going way too slow. Becky and Justin are in a rush and they want someone who is ready to commit right now. They aren't waiting. They're not going to wait for months. They're not going to wait for years. They want a commitment and they want it now. Justin wonders if Yari is really open to this or if they're just going to be endlessly dating. Justin wants to talk about a commitment with Yari. He's seeing her alone because he feels that Yari is much more open when it's just him. Now, during this dinner, Justin invites Yari to Florida with Becky, and Yari complains that most of his free time is with his family, not with her. Justin explains that his free time is spent with work, and then he gets home from work and he sleeps. Yari complains that Becky is Justin's priority. She isn't a priority. Yari says Becky is always there by Justin's side with Justin. And Justin insists if he commits to someone and they commit to him, at that point, he will be there. Yari has enjoyed every moment with Justin, but she doesn't feel that she has enough time with him, enough attention from him, enough one-on-one time with him. Justin explains how a past sister wife needed a surgery. She was immobile, and he and Becky nursed her back to health. Yari tells Justin she knows he doesn't have the time for that, and Justin insists if Yari commits, he and his wife will make time. They will make time if this and if that and if. Listen, if there already isn't time and Yari already has these complaints, they aren't going to just magically dissipate if she commits full-time to a polygamous relationship, sharing her man with Becky, sharing all of her time with Justin with Becky. If I were Yari, I'd run the other direction and fast. She can find a guy that is worth her time, that is her equal. Justin understands Yari's concerns. He says he understands how she feels. He tells Yari if they were in a committed relationship, if he got a commitment from Yari, they would see each other every day. It's clear that Yari needs more time, that she is nowhere ready to commit. But Justin doesn't give a fuck about where Yari's at. He only cares about if he can get what he wants for himself. So Justin asks Yari if she is open to being a part of the family with himself and his wife. Yari wants Justin to just be her. She doesn't want to share him. She wants her man, her husband, just for herself. She doesn't like to share. Justin is disappointed by that. Justin knows that obviously doesn't work with polygamy, so he doesn't know if this is going to work out. I think Yari wanted to be on a TV show, and I think Yari may have thought that possibly she could influence Justin to leave Becky and be with her. And she said on her first date, what if I want him all for myself? What if I want you all for myself? And I think that's what she wants. So I don't know. Next up are the Davis family. Nick tells his wives the date went well, and now Jasmine is coming over for a sleepover. Danielle is nervous. She feels this is a really big step. And Jennifer explains how she is legally married to April. And Nick says they structured their relationship like this, with the women marrying each other to ensure that there isn't anyone feeling entitled to a greater share of anything with regards to their relationship. They don't want a hierarchy, and that's why they want Danielle to have another wife. For equity's sake, to really balance out the family and to make it fair for Danielle. That's utter bullshit. The sister wives and Nick are framing this as if they are doing this to make things fair and equal for Danielle. That it's unfair if she doesn't legally marry a wife and bind herself to this person. I don't think this is about fairness or equity or Danielle or what's best for her. This isn't what Danielle wants. And to suggest she isn't an equal if she doesn't legally marry a wife, it's gross and it's manipulative. They're trying to frame this as if they are doing this for Danielle for her best interests. When Danielle has voiced and demonstrated that dating a potential sister wife, that legally marrying this woman is the last thing she really wants. If these people really want equality in their family structure and they want things fair, they should be listening to what Danielle wants. They should be confronting the fact that they know Danielle is appeasing them. They should value her true feelings about dating. And Danielle should feel comfortable enough to express her feelings, to use her voice, and to feel like she is heard and like she matters. Danielle doesn't even feel like she can be honest with these people. She feels like she has to just go with the group to appease these people, to people please. And they know this. They know she's people pleasing. And they're starting to frame dating and Danielle marrying this potential sister wife as if it's for her best interest. So things are fair, so things are equal, so things are level for everyone. But if everyone is equal and Danielle knows she is comfortable with Nick, would these two other ladies be cool with her just marrying Nick legally if she doesn't want to marry another woman to be an equal? Would that be cool with them if she marries Nick? This is all bullshit. In my opinion, it's complete and utter bullshit. Look at Danielle's face as Jennifer and April are explaining that they don't want a hierarchy and that Danielle deserves a wife, that that's the fair thing, that they want that for her to balance out the family for the sake of equality. Look at Danielle's face, look at her eyes, look at her expression, and tell me that is the look of someone who wants to do this, the look of someone who is good with this, the look of someone who is okay with this. Danielle looks so disheartened, like she wishes she could speak up, but she doesn't have the confidence that her voice will matter, that her voice will even be heard. Nick doesn't even have one legal wife. So if any of his wives want out, it's the other wife, the legal wife, who is on the line for that. And Nick gets off scot-free. And if there are kids involved, he doesn't even earn a wage himself to pay his child support. His other wives will have to cover it, I guess. This is their test run, though, with Jasmine sleeping over to see if Jasmine gels with the family. And they want a green light to continue pursuing her. So having her spend the night is a test. It's a make or break it moment for the family. Jasmine arrives. She gets a tour of the house. She sees the ginormous bed. She feels nervous about the sleepover. Jasmine isn't sure what the dynamic will be with adding so many people into a natural environment that isn't her natural environment. So Jasmine wants to know what's on the agenda for the night, and they're all going to go in the hot tub. Jasmine is also invited to sleep in the big bed, or there are also other options if she would be more comfortable. Jasmine isn't shy. She agrees to sleep in the bed. And Nick warns her that there will be lots of cuddles. I'm sure his little brain definitely wants to cuddle. He's all excited. It is so gross. Nick appreciates how accommodating Jasmine is to the family and the way they do things. Jasmine really seems like a storyteller. I think she really wants to be a character on TV. She tells of working at a pet food processing plant where she discovered she was allergic to lamb. This sounds like a bullshit story to me. She says they used lamb parts and she would get soaked in lamb's blood and she got a rash. She sounds like a total storyteller, a total fabulist. In confessional, the Davises are laughing about Jasmine. She's super quirky. She's a beautiful woman, but she was there talking about lamb's blood. And Nick himself, he thought it was weird. Jennifer likes how open Jasmine seems. She was so comfortable. She says if Jasmine was comfortable working with blood, working with lamb's blood, she would be comfortable with polygamy. And Nick really appreciates the layer Jasmine adds to their cake. He is excited to see where things go. Everyone gets in the hot tub and Jasmine really loves seeing the dynamic, seeing Nick and the sister wives in their natural environment and taking that all in. She feels that she could really use more help at home. She could use a stable environment for her son, and she thinks the Davises seem nice. I think Jasmine wants to be on TV. I think she likes to tell tall tales and be a character. And I think she is either nuts or she's putting on a show or a little bit of both. If she would assume a reality TV show family is a good, stable, secure place for her son when she seems to be needing security for herself, is she considering that she's already looking for security herself with her son, and when she's in this family, she is going to be the one who will have to work to not only support her son and herself, but the whole family? If she's struggling with security now, it's not going to get any better when she joins the family. Jasmine isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. If the Davises represent stability and security for her son, she really needs to think things through. Now, there are no rules for dating in the Davis family. The rule is do what you want. But Nick admits, at least for right now, sex is off the table with Jasmine. Jasmine knows spending the night is a big step and it's way outside of her comfort zone, but she really wants to see what will happen with this. Danielle has concerns. She knows Jenny and April are on the same page. They like Jasmine a lot. They feel good about Jasmine. But Danielle is hesitant because she would be the one to have to potentially legally marry Jasmine. And Danielle knows bringing Jasmine in might really stir things up. Danielle really doesn't want to upset the apple cart. She's really happy with the way things are. Back to the Merrifields, Sam and Samantha are coming over to meet Miriam for the first time. And it's Sam and Samantha's first time ever meeting a potential sister wife. Garrick thinks Sam and Samantha are the bad cops, and he thinks Danielle's parents are the good cops. Danielle is glad to get Sam and Samantha's opinions in real time. She values their opinion, and she feels like their opinions will make her feel more settled about things. Miriam reveals to Sam and Samantha that she is from a Middle Eastern community, a tight-knit community. Sam doesn't have reservations about the lifestyle so much, but he has reservations more about the person Garrick brings on. Sam feels like Garrick is repeating history again, just doing the same thing over, expecting different results. Sam hopes that Garrick really takes things slow, that he really gets to know Miriam better, that he really looks for all of the red flags, and that he doesn't give her money, to really look for the red flags before opening his wallet. Miriam really loves the Merrifields. She loves how close the Merrifields are as a family. She was looking for whatever God would give her when she reached out to Danielle. She has never met anyone like Danielle before, and she feels like Danielle is genuine and that there definitely wouldn't be jealousy between herself and Danielle and Garrick. As Miriam is explaining this to Samantha, Garrick and Danielle tear up. They're moved by Miriam's answer. And Samantha says this seems more real. They haven't actually lived polygamy before. So this is the first time they actually have a potential sister wife in their home. Samantha hopes they take this really slowly because they don't want to get devastated. They don't want to be hurt again. She doesn't want to see them hurt again. Samantha asks Miriam if her family is okay with her dating a Christian couple since she is Muslim. And she asks if her family would mind her converting to Christianity. She wonders if Miriam plans on doing so. Miriam doesn't plan on converting, and Garrick and Danielle look a little surprised by this. If Miriam doesn't convert, how will they be able to induct her into their cult? There's an awkward silence, and Samantha asks Danielle and Garrick how they feel about Miriam's Muslim faith. Garrick knows nothing about it. He wants to be on the same page religion-wise and spiritually with whoever they bring into the family. Garrick admits they know nothing about Islam, but he wants to research it, and Danielle feels maybe they can learn all the positive things from Miriam's religion. Samantha wants to know what the differences are between Islam and Christianity, and Miriam says Islam isn't like what is portrayed in the media. Samantha feels peace about Miriam. She feels Miriam is very genuine, she has good intention, she's a sweet girl. She likes Miriam a lot, but she wonders how the religions will work together, how they will all mesh together when they all believe differently. And she worries it might cause trouble, it might cause chaos rather than unity. It looks to me like Danielle is more open to accepting religious differences, but Garrick has a look on his face that says otherwise. So we'll see how that goes over. But Miriam plans on keeping her faith. She's always going to follow what is best for her, and she makes that clear. Back to the Ryans, Yari makes it clear to Justin that she doesn't want to share her man. She asks Justin how he would feel if he shared his wife with someone else, and Justin admits he wouldn't like it, not one bit. Yari says that's exactly why she isn't sure she can accept this. So she still wants to think about it and take her time. She still has to process this before committing. And she admits this is all new for her. She needs more time. She needs more time alone with Justin to really get to know him without Becky. And she says if she's going to love Justin, she really needs to know him more one-on-one. Justin tells Yari to take her time, but he also warns her he doesn't want her to be blindsided because they might date other women. He is in a rush to get it in. Yari explains to Justin that she doesn't like rushing things. She doesn't like being in a hurry. She doesn't like pressure. She says rushing isn't normal. And Justin counters that polygamy isn't normal either. Yari says she finds herself to be an open-minded person. She likes Justin, she likes Becky, but she needs more time alone with Justin before she can commit. And spending time alone with Justin is how they can know if it's going to work or not. Justin says he understands, but he looks majorly disappointed. I think Justin just wants somewhere to stick it. I think he's desperate, and he makes it clear he isn't in a rush to get a commitment from Yari, but they are more in a rush to get a commitment from somebody. And he says that somebody doesn't have to be Yari, since she made it clear she doesn't want to rush things. So Justin and Becky will now keep seeking, hoping to find the one. They don't care who it is. They just want the one. Justin has a look on his face like he is pissed that he just sprang for the bill. It looks to me like Justin really doesn't give a fuck about Yari. I don't think Justin gives a fuck about any of the women he dates. He seems to only be interested in getting his dick wet. And I think his wife just wants to be friends with the woman that he sticks it in. I don't think this is genuinely about expanding the family or wanting actual polygamy. I think Justin wants sex. I think he's bored with his wife, and I think his wife doesn't want him to cheat, and she doesn't want to leave him. And I think she is also desperate and hard up for friends based on her unlikable personality. And so polygamy became a solution for them. It seems Justin and Becky just want a warm body to fill the position. They don't seem to actually care about the woman herself. Just that she fucks Justin and that she braids Becky's hair. They seem to just be looking for anyone. Anyone Justin considers hot who will also not mind tolerating his wife. These two are a toxic train wreck, and Stephanie is probably so thrilled to have these idiots out of her hair. Justin and Becky seem to have the wrong motivations. They aren't doing this for the relationship. They aren't doing this for the family. They're doing this because of what they can selfishly get out of this woman they're dating, this woman they bring into the family. Selfish about what each one of them can get out of it. It's not at all about the other person. It's all about them getting what they want out of it, and it shows. For Justin, he wants sex. For Becky, she's hard up for friends, and she wants to keep her husband. Any woman with common sense would run from the Ryans, and fast. They're in such a rush to find anyone. Maybe they should just post on Craigslist or Indeed. They're just looking for any warm body to fill the position. They might as well go that route. Back to the Merrifields, Danielle and Garrick. Danielle has really enjoyed her first day with Miriam. They have a lot of chemistry together. So they go to lunch alone because Garrick says he has a migraine. Does Garrick have a migraine, or did Garrick decide he isn't cool with Miriam's faith? I wonder. Danielle seems way more into Miriam than Garrick does, and Danielle seems open to learn more about Miriam and her faith and her culture. Danielle is all smiles. She likes really spending quality time with Miriam. This is Danielle's first time really spending so much quality time with a potential sister wife. Danielle is talking about how she might want to do a maternity shoot. Miriam wants to do a baby shower, but Danielle says she doesn't have friends. Miriam points out that Danielle has lots of family though. Miriam says she might want 1 or 2 kids biologically, but she really wants to adopt. She wants to foster, and she says she is very maternal. She is very nurturing. Danielle loves that, and she thinks that's very well suited with polygamy and having multiple wives and kids in the family. Danielle also really wants help with her beauty stuff, and Miriam is supposedly good at that. Miriam says she loves women feeling beautiful, and she feels every woman is beautiful in their own way. Danielle says Samantha, her sister-in-law, is probably her closest female friend. So this friendship with Miriam is really unique and special to Danielle. Danielle admits she doesn't have friends like this. Miriam wants to know if Danielle and Garrick would be willing to give up pork for her. Danielle doesn't seem too down. She says she might consider it since Miriam makes clear that that could be a deal breaker for her. So Danielle is going to consider it. She feels like she and Miriam really have a lot to learn about each other's cultures and each other's religions. And Danielle seems really open to bonding and learning all of that. Miriam, we learn, has never been with a white man. Garrick will be her first. She's dated Arabic men and Hispanic men and Caribbean men and black men, but she has never, ever, ever in her life been with a white guy. It's her first white boy, Garrick. If this is her first white boy, Garrick, in the extra medium wife beater with the pasty noodle arms and the SK serial killer eyes and the culty whispery voice, it might also be her last white boy, her first and her last. That's not a good representation of the white boys. Miriam is doing herself a disservice. Tonight is Miriam's first one-on-one date with Garrick. It's going to be her first time alone with Garrick. She's nervous. She doesn't know what to expect, but she notes that Garrick is always respectful around her, so it eases her nerves, but that doesn't prevent her from being anxious and very excited. But in general, she thinks Garrick and Danielle move a little fast. Miriam mentions that Danielle told her she loved her after a month. And when Danielle did that, at first she was a little weirded out. And then Miriam realized Danielle has real love in her heart. She loves Miriam. And Miriam isn't used to showing a lot of affection. She guards her heart. She is very cautious. And she likes to move slowly. She likes to feel good about things as she moves slowly along. And her main concern is she doesn't want to get hurt. She doesn't want to feel pressured. And so far, she says Garrick hasn't hit on her. He hasn't gotten sexual. And she says in her past, men were always trying to come at her and be sexual with her. And she feels very respected with Garrick, that Garrick is the perfect gentleman. Well, she is going to learn otherwise pretty soon. Danielle is really happy that Miriam is wanting to slow things down. Of course, Danielle likes things slower. She was moving way faster than she was comfortable with because Garrick wanted to move so fast. But she is really happy that Miriam is on the same page. Miriam wants to take things slowly. Danielle says part of her is really bummed that Miriam actually wants to take things slow because she connects so much with Miriam that she would hope it would move faster. She would be comfortable with Miriam moving faster. Danielle has really enjoyed talking with Miriam, and Miriam enjoyed bonding with Danielle. Danielle says she hasn't bonded with anybody else like that ever, and this feels very natural for her. She and Miriam can just talk organically. Miriam isn't nervous around Danielle. She is comfortable with Danielle, and Danielle feels the same way. Danielle feels much closer to Miriam than she does to Natalia. One thing I noticed during this scene is Danielle is supposed to be pregnant, yet she appears to be drinking a glass of wine. Now, it's possible this was just filmed pre or post-pregnancy, so I'm going to be keeping that in mind, but I thought it was odd that she was drinking wine. Danielle says Natalia put up a wall with her. She isn't open and she isn't honest with her. They can't just talk about things. It isn't natural. It isn't organic. But with Miriam, it's natural. The conversation just flows. It just happens. So Danielle feels that Miriam really gets her, and she doesn't feel that at all with Natalia. I think Danielle really appreciates that this relationship with Miriam creates a wedge with Natalia, and ultimately I think that's what she wants. She tried with a baby and that didn't work, and now she's trying with Miriam. Next up are the Davises. They are trying to enjoy the hot tub. Nick wants to get close, but Jasmine has other plans. Jasmine wants to play games so that everyone can get to know each other. Jasmine has 3 questions, and she wants deep, meaningful reasons for everyone's answers to those questions. Everyone looks annoyed AF. Everyone but Jasmine. I feel like we're in elementary school making friends with these questions at recess or something. Jasmine wants to know what everyone's favorite color is. For Jasmine, her favorite color is blue. She loves blue. And she says she loves blue exactly the way that it is in every form that she has ever met blue. And she says in the depths of the ocean, blue becomes mysterious. Nick and his women look at Jasmine like she is speaking Chinese at first, but they play along. April says she likes red. Jasmine is wanting to conversate and play the question game in the hot tub. And for April, she says that was a little red flag. It wasn't a major red flag, but it still is a red flag. And that is a red flag for Danielle too, the fact that Jasmine wanted to play these games. She says she doesn't want to be asked about her favorite color when she is in the hot tub. Nick admits all Danielle wants in that hot tub is action. Jasmine asks what their favorite form of water is. She says she likes the ocean because it goes on and on and on. Yeah, it goes on and on and on, just like Jasmine does with her delusions. She and the oceans have that in common, just on and on and on into the abyss. Jenny says she likes waterfalls. She likes the sparkling moments of life, the gems, the treasures of life. So she chooses waterfalls. And next, Jasmine asks what their favorite animal is. These questions are deep. Nick likes spiders, and he says in most species of spiders, the females are larger and it embodies their significance to the species as a whole, just the way that he feels that women embody the significance of humanity as a whole. He says spiders also capture their prey, and now they're all trapped. He is trapped in the web of these women, and they all can't go anywhere. Wow, what an intellectual. I'm in awe. Nick gives Jasmine a kiss on the cheek, and she looks like she's cringing. She looks grossed out. I don't think she looked so into it. The women go in as Danielle and Nick hang back to talk. Nick knows that April and Jennifer want to bring in a wife for Danielle, but he really wants to make sure that Danielle herself wants another wife. And Nick knows recently the idea of them dating and expanding the family caused Danielle to want to leave. So he feels for them to be at a point where they're actually talking to someone else, he needs reassurance from Danielle to know that she is okay. Nick tells Danielle he knows it's easy to be happy around everyone, but he asks her how she is actually feeling about this. He asks if she is really certain that she wants to continue with them down this path, actually having someone here in the flesh, actually doing this for real, marrying this person. He asks Danielle if she is still okay with this. And Danielle's face says fuck no, but the episode ends before we get her answer. That does it for this episode. I'll be back next week with the next episode of Seeking Sister Wife. Thanks for listening. I'll see you soon. Bye.